Peace, everyone. Welcome to the show. How y'all doing today? I'm your host called Albert, better known as Apostle Israel Doctrine. I'm the one that coined the phrase foundational Israelite Black American. And today's title of today's show is Let the Bible Speak on Foundational Israelite Black Americans. And with that, I do have a presentation that I want to present, and I will now present the presentation. So, I gave the title. It's the 1st, 3rd, 2024, and we'll start with a prayer. So it reads as such, and I would be having a computer read.
Prayer for tonight. Proverbs 4:14-20:14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. 15. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fall. 17. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. 18. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shineth more and more unto the perfect day. 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble. 20. My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings.
So that's what I tried to do. I tried to put it in this presentation because I need a reminder of not to follow in the path of the wicked. So with that said, I'm going to get into the presentation. We're going to start in Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 28:1-4. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee, and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. 3. Blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep. And all people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Lord, and they shall be afraid of thee.
You're going to be called by the name of the Lord. So we have a quick note here. Right quick, because people seem to be ignorant of this, and I'm not going to talk profane or foul out my mouth about this tonight.
Quick note. Israel is the Lord's name. He adopted Jacob and gave him his name. The term Hebrew Israelite is a byword given us to use by man.
So Israel is the name of the Lord. We're called by his name. That should be very elementary for anybody that most definitely got a junior. And the term Hebrew Israelite is a byword, because Hebrew itself is a byword. It's equivalent to nigger. But like I said, I'm not going to speak profanely on that tonight. I'm going to keep moving.
Daniel 9:9-14. To the Lord our God belong mercies and forgivenesses, though we have rebelled against him. 10. Neither have we obeyed the voice of the Lord our God, to walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants the prophets. 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. 12. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done upon Jerusalem. 13. As it is written in the law of Moses, all this evil is come upon us, Yet made we not our prayer before the Lord our God, that we might turn from our iniquities, and understand thy truth. 14. Therefore hath the Lord watched upon the evil, and brought it upon us. For the Lord our God is righteous in all his works which he doeth, for we obeyed not his voice.
You see 14? Therefore has the Lord watched up on the evil. The Lord know what the evil is. He's watching it. He see it. And you playing with him, so he sent it to you. You see what it said? And brought it up on us. He was watching it and knew where it was. And we being disobedient. And he sent it right over there before our face. Like I said, I'm going to try to be good tonight and not talk crazy.
More quick notes. A great evil was brought upon the children of Israel because of their disobedience. The children of Israel are under the curse written in Deuteronomy 28. The treatment of Israel is the same, no matter where we are, be it among the Gentiles, Hamites or other Shemites, Ishmael, children of the East.
So Gentile, Hamite, or Shemite, it don't matter where we get. We get called by words, not Israel, not by the name of the Lord. We get called by words and treated like the dirt. Back to the scripture stuff.
Psalms 69:4, 6-9. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of mine head. They that would destroy me, being mine enemies wrongfully, are mighty. Then I restored that which I took not away. Let not them that wait on thee, O Lord God of hosts, be ashamed for my sake. Let not those that seek thee be confounded for my sake, O God of Israel. 7. Because for thy sake I have borne reproach, shame hath covered my face. 8. I am become a stranger unto my brethren, and an alien unto my mother's children. 9. For the zeal of thine house hath eaten me up, and the reproaches of them that reproached thee are fallen upon me.
Have fell on me. Learn what reproach and all them words mean if you ain't old to biblical language. But learn what it say. Just take the notes down and come watch the video again and learn.
Romans 15:1-3. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves. 2. Let every one of us please his neighbor for his good to edification. 3. For even Christ pleased not himself, but, as it is written, the reproaches of them that reproached thee fell on me.
The reproaches of them that reproached thee fell on me. Because when you doing for the Lord and you trying to serve the Lord and do his work and what he wants you to do, the people that hate the Lord gonna hate you. If you don't know these type of things about this life, please listen and learn. Songs of Solomon now.
Song of Solomon 1:6. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun hath looked upon me. My mother's children were angry with me. They made me the keeper of the vineyards, but mine own vineyard have I not kept.
So, this is pretty much the Lord speaking. He told the people, don't look up on him because he's black, because he is black. In the sense of what the Bible's saying. Because the sun has looked up on him. He said his mother children, the children of Israel, was angry with him. They made him a keeper of other vineyards. But the house of Israel is his vineyard. And it said, but my own vineyard I have not kept. So you can't get mad when the Lord keeping and doing for other people because you won't listen. But we're going to get into some things here. It's kind of controversial. We're finna get into them now. And a lot of people don't know about this. When I talked to Dr. Michael Brown, a Jew for Jesus. He was totally ignorant of these things. He was totally ignorant of it. He heard my conversation and got afraid. I'm not trying to debate you, but over the years, I see he done debated plenty of Hebrew Israelites because Hebrew Israelites are ignorant. And he knew that he could take them to a degree. Whether if he took them or not, I don't know. I just know they debated. But when I was talking to him, he humbled himself. I respect him for humbling himself because I didn't want to thrash him.
Obadiah 1:1 -4, 8:14 Division of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. 10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. 11. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. 12. But thou shouldst not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither should thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither should thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. 13. Thou shouldst not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity, yea, thou shouldst not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. 14. Neither should thou have stood in the crow's way, to cut off those of his that did escape, neither should thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress.
Now, this is Bible, but this verse, Obadiah 1 1 through 4, 8 through 14, tells us about what the preterists like to talk about, 70 AD. This verse right here tells us about what happened. And it tells us about Jacob, aka Israel, and his twin brother Esau, aka the Edomite. And the Edomite seen the Israelites trying to escape, and it tells you they stood in the way. They made sure that the Romans and Vespasian and all them people captured Israel and got them up out of Israel. Now we finna go into the controversial things that they don't want you to know. Things that'll get you killed. I'm not afraid to die though. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
To the preterist notes, Esau Edom are the people that the world calls Jews. They took our heritage substance and made it theirs. Esau is Jacob's, Israel's twin brother. They took all the pictures of our prophets, kings, and other great men and either destroyed them or have them hidden away from view.
So this is to the preterists that Esau is slash Edom. They want them the same. They are the people the world called Jews today. Jerry Seinfeld and all these cats. The Jewish people. You know why they the Jewish people? Because they stayed in the land of Judea. You in the land, you get named by the land. You know that, don't you? Most people are named by their land or their land mass. They took our heritage, though, when they took us out of Jerusalem in 70 AD. If you read history, and it's after 70 AD, 9 out of 10 is written to you by an Edomite that then took the identity of an Israelite and trying to speak as if he an Israelite, but I wouldn't trust nothing in them history books after 70 AD because the real people is dead and well, they not dead, but they're dead and gone. They've been scattered. They ain't writing books. They trying to survive. But the Edomite is sitting right there, portraying us and writing their mess down. We're gonna move on with this a little bit more. Here's some things that I could touch on, but that's some more. We'll touch on this a little bit. This is a good introduction to the rest of the stuff that I'm going to touch on. Speak.
Great people of the Bible and how they lived. PG 314. Herod was not a true Jew, but an Idumean. His ancestors were forced to convert to Judaism. He killed off many of his own family because he was afraid they would take his throne. He also ordered the massacre of all male Israelites under 2 years old during the time of Jesus. To Israel, Herod was a pagan and a usurper. World Scope NC. Volume 4, Edom Esau, Edom, meaning Red, dropped off the face of the earth in 70 AD. This is when Israel went into captivity and Jerusalem was.
So, Edom dropped off the face of the earth in 70 AD. Go type it up on the internet. Look in some of these world encyclopedias and stuff that's on the internet. It'll say it. Edom disappeared, and you know who else disappeared? Israel disappeared. How did Edom disappear? They took Israel identity, and Israel lost its identity and became very ignorant of who they are. That's why the black people in America, they would choose black over anything and not choose a nationality because they really don't know what their nationality is or what to choose. Some, though, have chose. Moors, Morocco, this, that, and everything else. And some has chose to be Israelites and can break it down and explain to you what happened to them and everything. Before Columbus and everything. But most people are ignorant of it. But I'm introducing to you today. You can take it or leave it.
This is when Israel went into captivity and Jerusalem was left empty. Edom was already there and changed the land of Judah to Idumea and then back to Judah and took our culture by claiming that they are the real Jews. This is how they have hid themselves by claiming to be a people they are not.
So they named the land Idum, letting you know we here, baby. Edom, Idum, and Dumia, all these Edomites and all these terms are synonymous with each other. To the point they were saying, oh, poo-poo, we got to play like we Israelites, change that name back to Judah, and let's be Judaism and all that other stuff. That 48 or whatever, when the Jews went back to the land and all this history that y'all think y'all know, it's bull crap. But it's all good. Test me if you want. All this stuff on the internet, I ain't got to tell you where it's at. Do your research. You're going to run across the same sources I run across.
Samaria, Israel, and Idumea were annexed off. The Maccabees, Hasmoneans, forced Edomites to convert to Judaism as a means to keep them loyal. This is when our identity became a religion. Herod was an Idumean Edomite. He converted and named the land Judah. The Edomites, descendants of Esau, played a significant role in biblical history. According to historical and biblical records, Nabateans and Edomites, the Nabateans, who were Arabs and descendants of Ishmael, eventually displaced the Edomites, pushing them into southern Judah. This migration led to Edomites settling in areas like Hebron in Palestine, which became one of their primary cities. Herod the Great, Herod, who ruled over Idumea, the Greek name for Edom, and Judea, was of Edomite descent. He came to power after his ancestors had been forced to convert to Judaism. Annexation of territories. Over time, regions like Samaria in Israel and Idumea were annexed, consolidating control under Jewish leadership. Forced conversions. During the reign of the Maccabees, Hasmoneans, Edomites were compelled to convert to Judaism to secure their loyalty. This moment marked a significant shift as identity transitioned from a purely ethnic heritage to a religious affiliation. Herod and the renaming of the land. After converting, Herod used his position to rename the territory Judah, further solidifying the fusion of identity and religion. These historical developments highlight how political and religious changes shaped the identity of the region and its people, influencing the legacy of both Edomites and Israelites.
So you can see where religion, politics can change identities and everything. That's why I argue and fight with Hebrew Israelites, because they're ignorant as hell. Their teachers ignorant. They're ignorant in all of this. They might know a little Bible. They might know a little Bible history, but they're not proficient in public discourse with the politics of Israel in today's time. They're still fundamental Israelite blacks in America.
The Idumeans, Edomites, began calling themselves Jews after the land of Judah, not because they were descendants of Judah or the seed of David. Herod the Great, an Idumean appointed by the Romans, is most well known for his rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem. While this was considered his greatest accomplishment, it did not earn him recognition as the king of Israel among the children of Israel. The Israelites rejected Herod's rule because he had no rightful claim to the throne, as he was not an Israelite by blood nor a descendant of King David. The royal lineage promised to rule over Israel. To strengthen his control, Herod divided the kingdom into 5 regions, known as Mirises. Judea, Idumea, Samaria, Galilee. Despite his political and architectural achievements, Herod remained a foreign ruler imposed by Roman authority, further alienating him from the Israelite population.
Now we got some pictures of 2 Idumeans, Herod the Great and Flavius Josephus. They got him dark. You might argue that he black, but we know that ain't no picture of no black guy. And if you do some history, you will see that the original Israelites was of a dark hue. A dark hue looked just like the Egyptians. How else you think Moses passed for the grandson of an Egyptian pharaoh?
Herod, also known as Herod the Great, was not a true Jew by ancestry but an Idumean Edomite. His ancestors had been forced to convert to Judaism during the Hasmonean rule, which made his Jewish identity more political than ethnic or religious. Herod's reign was marked by paranoia and brutality. He killed many members of his own family, including his wife and sons, out of fear that they might overthrow him.
And this is what people do. When you get rain and you think people gonna try to take your position, you start getting them up out of here. Because if you put somebody in the ground, they're not coming out the ground doing you no harm. Hey, you want to come in here and talk? Because if you don't come in here and talk, stop posting now. If I see you post again and try to rebuttal me in some shape, form, or fashion, I'm going to throw you out the side chat. I don't care who you are, don't know who you are. I respect you enough to speak to you, but stop posting it in my side chat, please. trying to rebuttal me and talk to me because I ain't talking to you and I ain't got time to read your post. So stop posting, please. Now I'm asking this nicely as I can ask. There go the link to come in the room. If you want to come in here and talk, you can hit the link and I'll proudly speak to you. No more posting though, please.
One of his most infamous acts was the massacre of all male Israelite children under the age of 2 in Bethlehem. This horrific event occurred during the time of Jesus' birth and was driven by Herod's desire to eliminate any potential rival to his throne. To the Israelites, Herod was seen as a pagan and a usurper, someone who held power illegitimately and did not represent their faith or lineage. Despite his grand architectural projects, including the expansion of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, he remained deeply unpopular among the Jewish people.
So we ain't all got to chime in on it. The link is there for anybody that want to come in the room and talk to me. If you're afraid to talk to another man, you're not a man.
Edom, which means red, refers to the descendants of Esau, the brother of Jacob, Israel. According to historical and biblical sources, Edom as a distinct nation disappeared from history around 70 AD. This period coincided with the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans, which led to the captivity of Israel and left Jerusalem desolate.
So Jerusalem was left desolate by the true Israelites. And the Idumeans or the Edomites or Edom or Esau took possession of everything that Israel owned. They was wearing another man's drawers, talking about I'm the man. So, I mean, if somebody don't believe that and want to make a little argument or something, I got time.
By that time, the Edomites were already present in the region and had taken control of the land, renaming it Idumea before later changing it back to Judah. The Edomites then adopted the culture and identity of the Israelites, claiming to be the real Jews. This act allowed them to hide their true origins and pass themselves off as the people of God, despite not being the true descendants of Israel. This historical narrative explains how the Edomites assimilated and concealed their identity, using religion and political power to replace and overshadow the heritage of the Israelites.
That's why you can read in Revelation those that call themselves Jews. You know what blackish mean? You ever watched the blackish TV show? Understand what Jewish mean. It's all understanding. If you don't understand, you don't understand. Once you understand and the light bulb come on, then you'll be like, oh, poo-poo.
In 70 AD, the Roman Empire, under the leadership of General Titus, destroyed Jerusalem and the Second Temple. This event marked a significant turning point in history. The children of Israel were taken into captivity and scattered throughout the nations, fulfilling various biblical prophecies about their exile.
So it's prophesied that Israel was going to be exiled and a bunch of stuff was going to happen to them. And it happened in 70 AD. Y'all heard the term preterist? Where there are full preterists out there that said 70 AD, the whole world or age was destroyed and everything. But they never talk about Edom taking over Israel identity, creating the world that we in today. They totally ignorant of that. They listen to Flavius Josephus, not knowing that Flavius Josephus from my studies in this that I'm showing y'all came after 70 AD and he wasn't no true Israelite. He was an Edomite that put his pen to the paper and tried to do his best to mess up the future. In his point, history from his time forward.
At the same time, the Edomites, Idumeans, who had already integrated into the land of Judah, began to assume the identity of the Israelites. They adopted the Jewish religion and culture, presenting themselves as the true Jews, despite not being descendants of Judah or Israel. This disguise allowed the Edomites to hide their true origins and continue occupying the land and positions of influence, even after the destruction of Jerusalem and the dispersion of Israel.
Israel dispersed. They took everything. Like I said, they ran another man's draws claiming to be him. Sad. Very historical though.
Thus, 70 AD represents both the fall of Jerusalem and the rise of Edom's influence, as they took advantage of the power vacuum left by Israel's captivity.
Now, to the brother that wanted to talk while I was talking and while I was presenting my information, we got 30 minutes if you want to talk. Any brother or sister that want to come in the room, hit the link, and we can sit down and talk. Be respectful, I'll be respectful. So at this point, anybody that's willing to come into the room may do so. So we back, people. That was like 26 seconds. Give you time to go to the restroom and do whatever you had to do. Hopefully you make it back in an ample amount of time to proceed on with the show. But yes, I'm not afraid to speak to people. But I see it's 7 of you all out there. Nobody will hit the link to say peace, Carl. How you doing? Nice presentation or nothing. That's how people be. So I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. Not at all. I know how God people be. I know y'all fearful. With that said, I'm gonna sit here and play some music and ease up out of here. Peace, y'all. Have a good night.